What's going on, YouTube family? This is the Modern Man Experience. Back at y'all with another video. This one right here gonna be from Cosmic Verse. We're gonna be talking about best of women begging men to chase them again. But y'all know it ain't happening, fellas, because women chose the bear. But without further ado, let's get into the video.
The of it is just fascinating to me. We were asking women, would you rather be left alone in the woods with a man or a bear? And most of the women were responding with bear. Now the men have clapped back with a question of their own, and it's phrased like this, like, men, would you rather share your emotions or your feelings with a woman or with a brick wall? I've also seen it phrased as with the back of a semi-truck. While I do agree that it's apples and oranges, I don't agree that we should be invalidating these men. June is Men's Mental Health Month, and I think that it is so important that we recognize when a man has the strength and the vulnerable capacity to be able to seek help to their partner or seeking out therapy. When we as women then use that against a man, it emasculates them. Emotional abuse is no better than physical or sexual abuse in my book. Now, obviously in a dream world, we would have a world where men would choose the women and women would choose the men, but we are humans and we are capable of really shitty things. I guess my hope for this online social experiment, if you will, is that we all just recognize that we each have our own individual fears from the opposite sex and to just treat each other with a little bit more kindness.
It's quite simple, really. While women choose the bear, the men choose the brick wall. Men are choosing to share their emotions with the brick wall instead of women because, at this point, the wall feels safer. The wall may not respond, but it doesn't mock them, belittle them, or weaponize their vulnerability later. It doesn't twist their pain into a joke. It doesn't roll its eyes or say, "Man up." It just sits there. And for a lot of men, that silence is more comforting than a woman who doesn't actually listen. See, women often say they want an emotionally open man, but when a man actually opens up, he's often met with discomfort, impatience, or even ridicule. That kind of response teaches men one thing: never do that again.
But there's a point in time when society stops thinking that you're attractive or deeming you attractive, and therefore, like, you lose all of the worth and the value that and the privilege that came with being attractive.
I'm going to make a lot of females mad, but I think it's time that we stop congratulating women that leave men in relationships. Like, good job, girl. He was a piece of shit anyway. I knew that you could leave him. Meanwhile, old Sally hasn't given her man Pound Town in over a year, and her man's mentally drained, going insane, finally steps out, and Sally notices that Tom's cheating, and now he's the fucking problem. I think we really need to start normalizing that most of the problem in good marriages that were good in the beginning end because the woman wasn't holding up her end of the relationship anymore. Oh, I'm too tired. Oh, my stomach hurts. Oh, I have a headache. I don't want to right now. Like, I think that happens more often than not. And then when the man does step out, all the other women are like, girl, he was a piece of shit anyway. Girl, he wasn't worth it. Girl, blah, blah, blah. When in actuality, you had a good-ass man. You just didn't know how to maintain him.
I agree. Some of these women do be having good men in their hands, but because life is going smoothly, no drama, no chaos, they get bored. The reason why women tell other women to leave good men is because they're jealous and miserable. They can't stand seeing another woman at peace, so they push her to sabotage her own relationship. Misery loves company, and they want those women to be just like them, single, bitter, and regretting their choices. In some cases, they even target those men themselves. They'll plant seeds of doubt, tell her she can do better, and the moment the relationship falls apart, they swoop in, acting supportive. But really, they had their eyes on that man the whole time. It's not about empowerment, it's about envy. A lot of women today don't actually want to see other women happy. They want to see them struggling the same way they are. At the end of the day, it's backwards logic. Instead of appreciating stability, loyalty, and a man who brings peace, some women are addicted to dysfunction.
You ever notice how women will punish good men because they're good men? I recently called out women for reserving most of their disrespect for the men they're dating. And I actually wound up in a conversation with a girl in my friend group about the topic. This was her rationale. Yeah, I guess that's kind of true, but that's just because we feel more comfortable around you. Like, we know you're not going to get angry or do anything bad to us. Disclaimer. I really like this girl, and I know she thinks she's being complimentary with this reasoning, but I had to explain to her that if she completes the circle of that thought process, she will land on the realization that she is being disrespectful to a man because he is good. And I know that a ton of women rationalize their behavior like this in the same way. Newsflash, we do get angry. We just don't act on it. Why? Because we're good. This is why good men shut down in relationships instead of fighting you. They become what they believe is the least dangerous and most peaceful versions of themselves in these moments. So ladies, I'm not saying you're bad people. I'm just saying that this is a thing you do that you should change.
What is going on about dating after 40? Holy shit. Every so many months, I will try dating apps. I am convinced at this point that my soulmate was swallowed. Okay? Like, I accept that. But just finding a good companion, somebody that allows, especially women who have been independent and healed, that have to be living in their masculine, to actually find a man who is safe, that allows them to be in their feminine energy, is just, why is this like the hidden treasure? This is like, where's Waldo? Okay. So we're all looking for Waldo in these dating apps. A man that makes us feel safe, that allows us to be in our freaking feminine energy and not have to sit here and compete that they're claiming that it's simp behavior to court a woman. After the age of 40, all of a sudden, we just don't have value, which is really interesting, or treated as such, or maybe we're just aware now what kind of value these people are bringing within 24 hours. I'm just going to preach it. I'm going to preach it right now. Within 24 hours, most conversations don't make it past me because I can see red flags a mile away, which is curse and a blessing, I guess. Because the last thing that I don't want is anyone to waste my time or energy. I really honestly don't know where you guys are coming from to think that it's okay, that you shouldn't be courting women. Now, there's a difference between a woman who is just using you to get, like, I don't know, like a dinner or something. But if you're having a conversation with somebody and they're actually somebody that you're interested in intellectually, physically, it's not simp behavior by courting her. And honestly, you should make a good first impression. Let's not forget the ones that are the most thirsty on social media and the internet are fake accounts, or accounts that you don't have photos, videos of yourself. It's an anonymous account. If you can't even show your face to the public, do not try hitting on a woman. She's not going to like you based on just your comment. If you actually are interested in getting out there in the real world, fellas, make yourself known physically, because you're physically attracted to her. She needs to be physically attracted to you. Why is everything so one-sided? Oh, and I love this one. Well, we're grown. We could do what we gotta do. Sweetie, I have protected my vessel for quite some time. You do not get the vessel without getting the mind, okay? If the mind don't feel safe, the body ain't gonna feel safe. I would like to thank hormones for allowing that control. Well, you know what I'm saying.
I understand that some women over the age of 40 want to date, but this whole put me in my femininity stuff is nonsense. A lot of these women say they're looking for a man to bring out the feminine in them, but truthfully, they never had it to begin with. And let's be real, if a woman over 40 is still saying things like that, she's not feminine, she's just jaded. Femininity isn't something you turn on like a light switch when a certain man shows up. It's a core part of your character, how you move through the world. If you're walking around hardened, combative, defensive, and emotionally closed off, that's not because no man activated you. It's because that's who you chose to become. And after 40+ years, that's not a phase. It's a personality. The truth is, a lot of these women didn't prioritize being soft, nurturing, cooperative, or peaceful when it mattered. In their prime, they didn't want to be feminine. They wanted to compete with men, dominate in the workplace, and be seen as strong, independent, and untouchable.
Okay, so here it goes. You know I'm going to vent on the dating scene. So when I first got single in my 40s, I was like, if someone came at me that had never been married before, I thought that was a super red flag. Now I'm just like, are they just super driven? Now at 50, they want to like date and settle down? What is with the men out there that have never been married, never like engaged, none of that, and then just say their career was more important? Was their career more important, or were they players? Was their career more important, or are they mama's voice? I just don't know. Like, I'm still so like, never married still draws a red flag for me. I'm just going to say it. I mean, you're looking at somebody that's been divorced for 12 years. That should probably be a red flag to you about me. So, I mean, I'm very self-aware, but I'm going to need some thoughts on this.
The men in their 50s who've never been married honestly made a great decision, especially if they're in the West. It's likely those men never saw real value in marriage, or maybe they just never found a woman worth marrying. And let's be clear, men, in general, aren't in a rush to get married in the first place. They don't feel the pressure of a ticking biological clock. They don't need validation through a wedding ring. And many of them have watched their friends and brothers lose everything in divorce. Half their assets, years of peace, access to their own kids, and emotional well-being. Why would they willingly walk into a system that's shown them time and time again that the risk far outweighs the reward? A man in his 50s who's financially stable, mentally sharp, and still has his freedom, that's not a failure. That's success. That's a man who played the long game.
I was just thinking, I'm probably going to be alone for the rest of my life. How many of you are alone and like are okay with it? Like are okay with it? Like,
ladies, tell me I'm not alone in this thought. I'm just now getting back into the dating scene after being single for 6 years, and it's absolutely wild to me how many men have been conditioned, like generationally. This is not age specific. This goes a generation of men who believe that just existing, they deserve a woman that is their therapist, their chef, their maid, everything rolled into one simply because they exist. The lack of basic life skills, they don't know how to cook. I dated this guy 6 years ago for a short period of time because one night he wanted to make me dinner and he had to go buy pots and pans to make me dinner because at 45 years old, he had not cooked at his house yet. And let me just say, he had never cooked for himself. He said he would do microwave dinners or eat out for every meal. That's a huge red flag to me. Because if you don't even care about your own well-being, how are you going to care about me when I'm sick? Are you just going to get me fast food every day? And then just the lack of personal skills for cleaning or having hobbies beyond video games and sports. Apparently, all of these things are optional until a woman comes along. And then they will, play house for a little bit. But ultimately, those things just drop off back to where they were, like when you met them. But of course, there's always the emotional labor. So many of these men expect the woman to be their source of happiness, light, and joy, while also basically raising them, feeding, caring, cleaning, managing their schedule. It's draining because instead of building a partnership, you're raising a grown adult. and they don't see it as an issue because they have been conditioned to merely exist, and you should be okay with that as a woman. Meanwhile, women are expected to be independent, ambitious, emotionally intelligent, and also self-sufficient, but not so independent that you don't need a man. Meanwhile, we just need to accept that they will show up and try. If we're lucky, they'll try. It makes dating feel like job recruitment instead of looking for a genuine connection. Like, sir, do you even have your own life? Or are you just waiting for someone to make your life more enjoyable? Because I am not your entertainment. Now, I will say there are some men that have their life together. They have a good home that they've built for themselves, fulfilling hobbies, they can cook, they clean, they take care of their space, and they don't need someone to come and guide them through life. It's rare. It's like finding a unicorn, but they do exist. What's been the biggest personal, I am not your mother moment for you?
I understand she feels like this, but it's the same for men as well. There are a lot of women out there who expect everything to be done for them just because they're a woman. Just to be clear, majority of men don't believe simply existing is enough for them to be deserving of a woman that's their therapist or chef. Men know they have to work, they have to build, they have to prove themselves in some way to even get noticed. For a woman to keep running.
Shout out to Cosmic Verse for the video. I'm gonna leave the link to his channel down in the description. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Till next time, it's the Modern Man Experience. I'm out of here. Peace.